Hey guys, I'm going to show you a bunch of stretches that I used to do every day. These stretches really helped me get more flexible, and I used to not be flexible at all, believe it or not. And so I'm just going to give you the routine that I used to do, and I encourage you to try to do it every day if you're looking to get more flexible or if you just want to stretch.
Before we get started with all of the more intense stretches, you're going to want to do a quick warm-up stretch like one that we would do in class just to get all your muscles nice and loose. And when we do this stretch, we want to make sure that our hips are nice and square to the side, that our hip isn't open. And when we do our plie and flex like that, you can grab your toe for an extra stretch. Just a quick disclaimer, I stretch only one side in most of these stretches just for the sake of time, and I don't hold them for very long. So make sure that you are stretching both right and left sides for every stretch and holding them at least 30 seconds. The first stretch we're going to do is a lunge, making sure our back leg is super straight, dropping down to our elbows, rocking back and forth a few times, putting our knee on the ground, and really pushing our hip into the floor, feeling that hip flexor stretch. And if you want a more advanced stretch, you can put your knee up against the wall like I have there, prop yourself up, and really try to push your hips forward, and you're really going to feel this stretch in your quad. And you're going to repeat this on, of course, both your right and left sides, and you can also do this without the wall. The next stretch is going to stretch the outside of my hip, so I have my foot crossed over my knee in the front, and I'm going to pull it in either with a bent leg, or you can straighten it and pull it in as close to your chest as you can, and you can push on your bent leg to give yourself an extra stretch, and you should really feel this on the outside of your hip. You can also flex your foot and try to pull it in that way. Next, I'm going to lay on my back and pull my knee in super close to my chest. I'm going to straighten my leg out, grabbing my ankle and really trying to pull it in close, feeling that stretch in my hamstring. Then I'm going to take my arm and put it under my knee while I'm grabbing my toe and flexing it to the ceiling, holding that for a minute, and then wrapping both of my arms under my knee and pulling it in as close as I can while straightening it out, keeping it super close to my chest. It's okay if it doesn't straighten all the way. After that, I'm going to grab the top of my foot and my ankle again and pull it in even harder and really try to get it as far as I can. And you can also bring it to the side, stretch it all the different angles. Next, we're going to do our right and left splits. We're going to make sure our hips are squared, our legs are straight, our toes are pointed, and you can reach forward and arch back and get a really good stretch. Next, we're going to do some over splits. I found some books to use, or you can use whatever you have around your house that'll give you an elevated surface. And just put your foot up there and stretch it out. You can reach forward and arch back again. And make sure you also turn around and put your back leg up there, making sure it's straight. Toes are pointed, of course. And same thing, reach forward, arch back, get a really good stretch. Next, we're going to work on a straddle splits. Find a flat space on the wall and try to push yourself as close as you can to it. And every 30 seconds, try to push yourself even closer. Next, we are going to push ourselves up against the wall that way, let our legs drop out, push them down. And if that's not enough of a stretch for you, you can grab some weights if you have them. If not, it's okay. And I put them around my feet and get back to where I was and let my feet drop. And that just gives me that extra stretch. As you can see, my feet went down a lot farther. So if you really need that extra stretch, you can use those. And then I also have a ballet band that I use sometimes. And you can put that around your waist and around your feet and let your legs come out. And you can also use this laying on your back like I just was and let that pull your legs farther. Next, we're going to stretch our extensions. I usually start holding onto the wall to make sure I have my balance, that my legs are straight and turned out. I usually grab the inside of my heel first and tilt it over and straighten it back up. I'll change my grip and do the same thing. And then I'll let go, try to hold it and tilt it over. And then I'll go and prop myself up against the wall. You can also do this not against the wall if you want. And I'll pull my leg as close to my face as I can. And also, if you have a ballet band or any kind of stretchy band, you can use those to stretch your extensions as well. If you're not as flexible, that usually helps you get your leg a little bit closer to you and get that extra stretch in. Next, we're going to stretch our back. I usually start with a seal stretch, but if you want to make it harder, you can put your knees up against a wall and find a wall in front of you if you have one like that in your house, and use it to push yourself closer to your feet and get that extra stretch. Next, I'll grab my feet and pull myself up. You can also rock back and forth to get more of a stretch right there. And then I will push myself into a back bend and straighten my legs and try to push into my shoulders and hold that. Next, find a wall and walk yourself down like you're doing a back bend and try to go as far down as you can. And if you need an extra stretch, try to push your arms straight and push your head closer to your legs. This is a really good stretch to help you work on your needle. So you do a split on the wall, and you can either use a wall like I have, or you can use a chair, a table, anything to help push you up and push yourself towards your leg as much as you can. You can also try to reach back and grab your foot. That'll help get your back extension. And last but not least, I will stretch my feet. Find a couch or a chair that you can fit your feet under, and you start with your legs pretty close to it and gradually scoot back, trying to straighten out your legs. And this will create a really good stretch at the top of your foot. Really be careful that you're not sickling your feet. Really keep an eye and make sure that you're turning them out and they're straight. And then you can take them out from under the couch, flex them, roll them around, and point them. Make sure you got that good stretch in. All right, and that's it. So I really hope that you can take these stretches and do them at home and do them every day and get more flexible and work hard and do as much as you can while you're home. And I love you guys.